Hello friends, glad to meet you all today with the textual comprehension, grammar and vocabulary of the Unit 7 of the 9th Standard English textbook, SSC Board, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. On to Part A, the trial. Firstly, reading comprehension. Answer the following questions. The first question, John said, if you leave the door of the cage open, the bird will fly out. Why did D. Estevette say that it was a confession? D. Estevette said that it was a confession because she ascertained that she would escape from the prison if she gets an opportunity. Ascertain means accepting. She is giving an assurance that she will definitely do it. She will escape from the prison. In this way, she is accepting her fault. On to the second question. Why did John say, I will swear no more? Swearing means before proceeding with a case, they ask the convict to promise, take an oath that they will tell only the truth. That is called swearing. Now Joan is a convict and she is supposed to do that promise, take the promise, but she is not accepting to do it. Why is it like that? She said that she would not swear because she did not want to tell the whole truth at any cost. Moreover, she was sick and tired of swearing a number of times. On to the third question. Who are the people who tried to save Joan in the trial? How do you know it? Krishnan, the inquisitor, and Ladvenu tried to save Joan in the trial. The expressions, it will not be done today if not necessary, we should proceed mercifully, and think before you answer, show this. So these dialogues said by Krishnan, the inquisitor, and Ladvenu respectively show us that they support Joan. On to the fourth question. Joan expressed her helplessness to tell the whole truth. Why? What was the old saying she mentioned in this context? Joan said that she could not tell the whole truth because she believed that God did not allow the whole truth to be told. The old saying she mentioned in this context is, he who tells the whole truth is sure to be hanged. On to the fifth question. Why was the doctor forbidden to bleed Joan? Forbidden means restricted from, not allowed to, prevented from. Why was the doctor not allowed to give treatment to Joan? They accused Joan of witchery and they believed that if a witch bleeds, her witchery leaves her. As they wanted to kill Joan as a witch, they did not allow the doctor to bleed her. So we see that their intention was to get Joan killed as a witch. So they did not allow the doctor to give any treatment to her. On to the sixth question. Cruzel said that Joan should be tortured. What reasons did he give to support his argument? As Joan refused to take the oath and was departing from the usual practice, he said that Joan should be tortured. So the reason here he mentions is that she is refusing to take the oath. Oath means the promise to swear before the case. They have to swear and Joan refuses to swear. That is, she is not accepting the rules and regulations, not abiding by the law. So she should be tortured is what he says. And it was customary to torture the accused. On to the seventh question. Why did Joan regret having won the circuit? Joan felt that if she had not won the gold circuit in the battle, she would not have been pulled backwards off her horse, so she regretted having won it. So she thinks that if she had not won the gold circuit, no one would have identified her and no one would have been able to pull her backwards and she would not have been standing in the trial. So she just regrets why she wore the gold circuit. On to the eighth question. Joan and Cruzel called each other names. What were they? Joan called Cruzel Noodle and Cruzel called her a wanton. On to the second bit. Take the statements that are true. Joan tried to escape from prison only once. No, it's not true. She tried many times. Joan said that she would not hesitate to lie if she was tortured. Yes, she says so. So it is true. The third one, Joan liked to be in the hands of the English rather than the church. No, it's not true. She wanted to be in the hands of the church. The fourth one, Cruchon tried to have Joan executed. No, Cruchon was supporting Joan. Joan became ill because she ate carp. Yes, it's true. She was allergic to that fish. On to the third bit. Some characters in the play are in favor of Joan and some are against. Identify the characters who are in favor of or against Joan and then complete the following table. So first one is Cruzel. He is against Joan. The words that support that he is against is she should be put to torture. Cruchon. He is in favor of Joan. The dialogue. Take care how you answer, for your life and salvation are at stake on it, tells this. Inquisitor. He is in favor of Joan. And the dialogue. It must not be applied wantedly, tells this. Lad Venue. He is also in favor of Joan. And we know it from the dialogue. Do you want to torture the girl for mere pleasure of it? Tells this. D'Estevette is against Joan. The dialogue, that is the confession of heresy, tells this. Cruzel, he is against Joan. My lord, she should be put to the torture, tells this. The chaplain, he is against Joan. The dialogue, if you are so clever at woman's work, why do you not stay at home and do it? Proves this. On to the vocabulary part. There is a word confession in the story which means declaration of guilt. The word is related to church. Find any three words related to church from the story and write their meanings. Yes, the first one, the Gospels. The Gospels means the first 4 books of the Bible or the New Testament. The next one, clergy. Clergy means a priest or minister of the church. The third one, canonize. Canonize means state somebody a saint. On to the fifth bit. The inquisitor in the story says, let's not be moved by the rough side of a shepherd lass tongue. Here, a shepherd lass tongue means that Joan speaks whatever comes to her mind without any etiquette. There are some idioms with tongue in column A. Match them with their meanings given in column B. Use these idioms in your own sentences. The first one, sharp tongue. What does sharp tongue mean? An outspoken or harsh manner. A critical manner of speaking is called sharp tongue. The second one, a slip of tongue. What does a slip of tongue mean? A slip of tongue means a mistake you do make when speaking, such as using the wrong word. The third one, a tongue lashing. What does a tongue lashing mean? If you give someone a tongue lashing, you speak to them angrily because they have done something wrong. On to the fourth one, bite one's tongue. What does bite one's tongue mean? Yes, it means to struggle not to say something that you really want to say. On to the fifth one, be on the tip of your tongue. What does that mean? Yes, it means you think you know it and that you will be able to remember it very soon. On to the grammar part. Read the following sentences. If you leave the door of the cage open, the bird will fly out. If Joan were alive today, how would people receive her? If I had not worn my cloth of gold surcoat in battle like a fool, that Burgundian soldier would never have pulled me backwards off my horse. Here we see the if clauses being used. That is, in the sentence 1, we see the possibility of the bird flying out when the door of the cage is open. And in sentence 2, we see an imaginary situation. And in sentence 3, it is a regret. That is, the action has already completed in the past and it is impossible to change it. So here we get the pattern of the if clause. That is, in the if clause, if you have simple present tense, in the main clause we have future tense. Sometimes it is even present tense when it is of the zero type and when we speak of facts, especially scientific facts. The second, in the if clause, if you use where, it is an imaginary sentence or an improbable clause. And here you have the main clause with would plus V1. And the third is impossible clause where the incident has already taken place. In such case, in the if clause you use had plus V3 and in the main clause we have would have plus V3. Now pick out a few sentences from the play containing if clauses and say which type they belong to. If you tear me limb from limb, you will get nothing. This is sentence 1, that is type 1. Why would anybody leave a prison if they could get out? This is of the type 2. If I had not worn my cloth of gold surcoat, that Burgundian soldier would never have pulled me backwards off my horse. This is of the type 3. That is the impossible if clause. Complete the following sentences using possible main clauses. If I were asked to stay at home and do only household chores, I would get bored. This is an imaginary clause. If I had attended the function, here had plus V3 is there. So in the main clause we will have would have plus V3. So the main clause would be I would have enjoyed. On to the third sentence. If Raju comes to school every day, he will improve in his studies. On to the fourth sentence. If Lalit had helped him do his homework, here we have had plus V3. So the main clause would be would have plus V3. He would have completed it in time. On to the fifth sentence. If I were the class teacher of class 9, I would give a games period every day. This is an imaginary if clause. On to the editing part. It was 11 o'clock on the night. On the night is wrong. Instead of on, in should be written. So the right sentence would be it was 11 o'clock in the night. The servants went to the bedroom and looked in. So here we see went, that is past tense. So look is incorrect. Instead of look, we need to use looked in. Ramalinga and his wife were not asleep. Ramalinga knew that the servants were near. He said loud to his wife. Here loud defines said. It is an adverb. So it should be loudly, not loud. So the correct sentence would be he said loudly to his wife, there are many thieves in the town. You have a lot of jewels. We must kept them safe. Here kept word is incorrect. Beside the modal verbs, we should always use the V1 form. We must keep them safe is the correct sentence. I have a plan. We shall put all the jewels in an box. An is incorrect because B is a consonant and it is starting with a consonant sound. So the correct one would be we shall put all the jewels in a box. On to part B, Antony's speech. On to the first question. What elements in Antony's speech do you think make him succeed? The irony used in his speech made him succeed. He just spoke of the good deeds of Caesar and did not mention anything about the evil deeds of Brutus. This made people analyze the goodness of Caesar for themselves. On to the second question. What is Mark Antony's message? Mark Antony's message is that Caesar was not an ambitious king. He was just, fair, compassionate, and a faithful king, and that when the people loved him with some reason, it is right to mourn for him after his death, at least for a while. On to part C. Mahatma Gandhi pushed out of train. On to the first question. Why was Gandhiji puzzled when he heard that there were no colored attorneys in South Africa? Gandhiji was puzzled because it was shocking to know that people were discriminated on the basis of their color. On to the second question. How did the conductor address Gandhi? Address means call. How did he call Gandhi? The conductor addressed Gandhiji as Coolie. On to the third question. The porter who was talking to Gandhi suddenly stopped talking without completing his sentence. What was he frightened of? If he had not seen the conductor, what would he have said? He was frightened of being beaten or scolded by the European. If he had not seen the conductor, he would have said that it was quite strange to see an Indian seated in the first class compartment, or rather a colored man seated in the first class compartment, and he would have explained about the racial discrimination prevalent in South Africa. On to the fourth question. Why was Gandhi thrown out of the train? Gandhiji, being a colored man, was not supposed to travel in a first class compartment in South Africa. So the conductor asked him to get down. Gandhiji refused to get down as he had a first class ticket and he had every right to travel in the first class compartment. As he refused to get down, he was thrown out. On to the fifth question. If you were in Gandhi's place, how would you react? If I were in Gandhi's place, I would simply get down from the train. On to the sixth question. Find out from the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi or from the internet, what did Gandhi do when he was thrown off the train? When Gandhi was thrown off the train, he spent that night in the waiting room and travelled by another coach to Johannesburg and later travelled to Pretoria in a first class compartment. And with this, we conclude with the comprehension of the 7th unit. I do hope this session was useful to you and to get to know how to comprehend a lesson. Thank you for watching and have a great day ahead. Do not forget to click the like button and do share with your friends. Thank you once again.